we're all going to be able to learn at the same time. And hopefully all of you guys in chat are enjoying it. Now, game number 5, heading to your TV, monitor, phone, wherever you happen to be watching it. We are on African waters. You take a look at this map. There are 2 different pools with deep water fish, with shoreline fish on either side. And based on how close these town centers spawn to one another, it's Crackedy, it's pandemonium.
Yeah, I mean, you see the TC distance between these two players. I think if we pan the camera, you could probably get both TCs almost on the same screen. It is a very, very close distance here now, and there's a ton of food in the middle. And one of the civilizations that we're seeing here is the Ayyubids. They get the ore carts on the berry bushes when they build a mill next to it. So potential for the Ayyubids to get a lot of food in the middle of the map. We saw the Ayyubids being really, really strong earlier today on water. So this might be another instance where maybe Beasty could sneak up a dock on his opponent's side, on his opponent's pond, and yeah, if we see another one of these really, really fast fuel age-ups, it could be difficult for MarinelorD to deal with that.
Yeah, I think there's great potential of that happening, Crackedy. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head because we saw how quickly you can get up there, right? We talked about in the prior game with Beasty playing the Byzantines and MarinelorD as the Ayyubids, just having that first naval ship is so important. So maybe we do see a cheeky dock all the way on the south side. And also, I mean, to continue to relay on the pandemonium, maybe we see some shinobis getting in the wood line of the Ayyubids. That could be quite a difficult thing for Beasty to deal with as well.
Oh, it's not just the woodline. If MarinelorD gets 2 shinobis out, he's going to be able to permanently disable one of the docks from Beasty, or sabotage it rather. What that means is, as long as the building is sabotaged, Beasty isn't going to be able to produce anything out of that building, or rather, production is going to be completely halted. So if Beasty tries to sneak up a dock on his opponent's side, if MarinelorD gets there in time with the shinobi, he will be able to kind of stop that aggression there.
Yeah, absolutely. That 30 seconds is huge, right? Just to take down some of those, and for it to be burning, just to have that little bit of damage on it too, just means for the Japanese, if they do have any kind of naval ships, they might be able to take down an Ayyubid dock pretty quickly. So we'll see what landmark they choose to go. But obviously, just because we're going in the naval route, it takes a little bit more time. But Crackedy, let's talk about, we did see the Japanese once. Let's talk about them a little bit just in terms of new stuff that they have in Dark Age. You see a forge right there. What is that doing?
Yeah, the Forge is a unique building there for the Japanese. They kind of combine a blacksmith and a mining camp, so it's a little bit bigger. It's a 3x3 building, but you get access to both the blacksmith upgrades as well as the mining camp upgrades, and you're able to drop off gold and stone there. So it's a very, very cool building. Also only costs 50 wood, so you save a lot on blacksmiths there. They also get a unique house. They get a farmhouse, which is a combination of a normal house and a mill, so you can drop off food at the farmhouse. You can also get a unique kind of wheelbarrow upgrade, the Tawara there, which then splits off into 2 additional upgrades in the feudal age and the castle age. The Tawara boosts the food gathered from berry bushes and the movement speed by villagers by 7%, 3 times, so you can get up to 20%, 21% additional movement speed on your villagers in the castle age.
Yeah, that extra movement speed, plus with the carrying capacity by 3 every single time, it means they can carry 19. Which is better than the normal wheelbarrow. And of course, hovering over that forge, as you can see that gold being deposited on that forge. You also get a little bit of stone with it. So it just means it helps make your transitions a little bit easier if you did something like a town center. If you did something like trying to get the upgrades for your initial town center for the Daimyo Palace and such, you might be able to do that a little bit quicker. Now, speaking of quick, Beasty going to be going up with that House of Wisdom and probably hitting a technology very soon. MarinelorD going for the Coca Township, and we all know out of those Cocas come the Shinobis. So we are going to see a little bit of a late Dark Age, early Middle Age brouhaha with those Shinobis.
Yeah, Beasty so far, he hasn't clicked up his age up yet, so he's only going to get a normal age up timing if he goes for that culture wing fast age up wing that we talked about in the previous game, or rather the Byzantine versus Ayyubids matchup earlier. It's definitely going to be a little bit of a delayed age up, but doesn't look like he's going for it. It looks like it's going to be one of the full price wings here for him. And this is going to be a very late age up compared to the Japanese MarinelorD. He's almost up to next age. Beasty hasn't even clicked it, and he's not going to be able to. Beasty's not going to be able to speed up the age up. It's going to be a full 2-minute age up timing.
Yeah, I mean, and when we talk about that with the Abyssids, too, I mean, for the Abyssids, it's a minute 45 seconds whether you like it or not, right? For the Ayyubids, I mean, the House of Wisdom, it's the same thing. Even though you can click different things, it still kind of operates the same. And now MarinelorD's starting to get a little cheeky on the side of African waters that is closest to Beasty. Another dock coming out for him, and it looks like might not be able to get up in time. The Ayyubids pulled a village worth of villagers. It looks like there's about 6 of them trying to make headway, try to take down that dock not going up.
That is a lot of villagers. 3 villagers now trying to chase that one. On the other side, though, Beasty, he managed to sneak up a dock on MarinelorD's side. It's like MarinelorD's trying to go for a little bit of a loop around here. Is he pulling additional villager? No, he's waiting for the shinobi to come in. Once these shinobis arrive, Beasty, he's not going to be able to deny that dock, and that dock is going to go up in the end here. Age up almost complete, 30 more seconds. There's no military ship yet for MarinelorD on water. Now he sees the second dock from Beasty, though, so might have to Q1 sooner rather than later, and that dock on Beasty's pond is going to be going up.
Yeah, oh, at least just saw the shinobi blink over there on the western side, and it will be able to take down one of those villagers as well. MarinelorD, instead of going for naval arrow slits, which you can get pretty easily as Japanese, just because we talked about the stone getting deposited while he's mining gold. Instead of going for the arrow slits, he's going for military ships. He wants to take battle to the water rather than the shore on this one. But now we're looking at both of these waters, Crackedy. We got 2 different colored docks on 2 different ponds. This is when the micro of these players is going to shine. We know how much micro intensive it is to deal with water. You're dealing with 2 of them, plus what's going on in your home base. We're going to see who comes out on top here.
It looks like so far MarinelorD, he's not reacted yet to what's coming out there from Beasty. Beasty with the bazaar, he's getting some Bedouin skirmishers for cheap. Now these Bedouin skirmishers, they're relatively cheap unit. Oh, that was another shinobi. For a second I thought it was a villager, but no, that's another shinobi. And with that, these Bedouin skirmishers, they're going to go down. But now Beasty also having a ship on the pond from MarinelorD. It's going to be caught by surprise here. He has to react to that. Does so now. Archer ship is going to be coming out. There's already a demo ship and an archer ship out for Beasty, though. So it's not going to be a Springle ship from him. MarinelorD, he could pull some of the shinobis to the top side, or rather to his own pond, to be able to kind of disable the docks there. Now it seems like he's content with just trading it out.
It almost kind of looks like for these ponds, they're kind of trading one another. One was predominantly MarinelorD, one was predominantly Beasty as Dark Age, and then the switch kind of flipped on these guys. So Beasty getting that demo ship on the fishing boats, not necessarily taking out the boats, but make them just 1 arrow hit away. And now with the Bagla from the Ayyubids on the south side, trying to take down the Springle ship from the Japanese, but Naval Air Slits is going to be able to help them out.
Out
again.
Of wood.
That's
Beasty
an issue.
is completely out of wood right now. Where is he getting wood from? He's not. Okay, he's going back onto wood now. I'm not sure what that was. Right now he's on 0 wood per minute. He's not able to produce anything, and that's going to buy a ton of very, very precious time here for MarinelorD. If he gets 2 shinobis back, he's going to be able to completely deny these docks out as well on his own side. And it looks like he's actually going to be able to completely destroy the docks from Beasty on his own pond.
Yeah, it begs the question, what happened to that wood line? Maybe there was something like a shinobi over there, but I mean, there's a decent amount of villagers on that wood line now. Instead,
oh, Beasty aged up.
He's going up to Castle Age. Unbelievable.
These new tech ups, they don't really show up on the caster UI yet. And there we go. He went up with the trade wing here.
I mean, he did go up
the culture wing. The culture wing. Yeah, it was the cheap culture wing, I think.
Yeah, so it was a little bit cheaper for him to get to Castle Age, but I mean, at what cost, right? He's got a military count deficit of 24-0. He basically gave up both of his pawns to do that, so he's going to transition pretty much everything on land. You see a couple barracks going up for Beasty. The Ayyubids, just like the Abyssids, they do have the potential to Gulam spam, and that might be what Beasty is trying to do, but the food's not there.
Oh yeah, and Gulams, you need a lot of them if you want to fight against Shinobi. The Shinobi, 20 melee damage plus 5 versus melee. They do a ton of damage even to Ghulams, so you need a ton of units there. And MarinelorD, he's getting some early Samurai out as well. These also don't do too badly against the Ghulams.
Yeah, and I think for the Samurai, just because they are that, stereotypical anti-infantry kind of unit, there's also upgrades in the Forge that really help in terms of melee damage. So the extra, for how much HP the Ghulam has, it might be able to take out Demo Ship with a nice little boom. We saw a nice little firework display on the shoreline, taking down a couple units trying to burn down that dock. But Beasty is getting absolutely shinobied to death. So many worker kills for MarinelorD. It's 24, economic count 51 to 33.
Beasty, he's gotten 2 traders out of his Bizarre Wing. And that MarinelorD, he's now going up to his Daimyo. He's gonna be able to get some more defense on his TC and some farm bonuses there as well. Don't think he's gonna do a farm transition anytime soon, though, with the amount of fishing that he's got going on now.
No, most likely not. I would agree with you.
Probably
now
just for the Bannerman.
Yeah, I would think so. Just for the Bannerman, yeah. Samurai, he's going to be able to continuously pump and probably at a level that's higher than Beasty. So these Shinobi continuing to rain their particular form of hell around this area. More villagers going down. You can see how quickly, just because of the melee damage being so high, how quickly those villagers going down. And for Beasty, it doesn't look like he has a really good answer right now to them.
He's pumped on a couple of Ghulams. 7 Ghulams, 2 Bedouin Skirmishers for him right now. Now, the Bedouin Skirmisher, that's a unique unit that you can get out from the Bazaar as the Ayyubids. The Bazaar is one of the potential trade age-ups that you have. You get multiple options for every single wing, and one of them gives you access to the Bazaar. You can see Core hovering over them here. You get options for specific units if you trade in some gold. Every now and then you spawn these traders that you can exchange for these trade-offs.
Yeah, a couple of those units are not necessarily going to make your army, but having a couple of them to help you out, especially while Beasty is under the kind of duress that he has. He does have a little bit of gold, so it might be able to help him in that department if he chooses to. He does have a couple Bedouin skirmishers out there on the map somewhere trying to get a decent Ghulam mass, but even, with the Ghulams, you're supposed to be in MarinelorD's base. You're supposed to be taking down villagers. They're going home.
And that MarinelorD, he needs more gold right now. He's got a lot of villagers on gold. Once he gets that, he's going to be able to age up as well. He's already got the food for it. Lots of income right now with all of these different docks going on. And more samurais coming out as well.
Yeah, you can see how much food MarinelorD has per minute. About 2,000 food per minute just because of all of the fishing that's going on. Able to make sure he didn't get a lot of damage done to his base because of the Ghulam rush. And now Castle Age, he did hit the button. He's going with the floating gate, so he's going to be able to create those Shinto priests that we saw previously. And I think just because of the fact that he can get Castle Age units is going to spell disaster for Beasty.
And now the samurai, even though in feudal age, they do still trade out very, very well here against the Ghulam in this mass. Able to take some of them out. Still more Ghulams now diving the base from MarinelorD, but he's just going to turn around. It's enough samurai here to fend that off. Samurai also with their blocking attacks, and since they're not taking as much damage, you can also get an additional attack upgrade on them in feudal age, so they're not actually that weak here. It looks like MarinelorD didn't get those, but still, the samurai are doing good work here.
And even with the samurai, I'm glad you said about negating some of that damage. For the samurai, it kind of negates the Ghulam's double attack in the beginning, right? If you can just negate one of them, it's like what the Ghulam is ever so popular for, they don't have anymore. So samurai, just an absolutely perfect counter to the Ghulam rush. And now MarinelorD's got about 20 samurai. Beasty's got about 6.
Yeah, this is looking very difficult for him now. Beasty does have a couple of Bedouin swordsmen as well, but it's not going to be enough from the looks of it.
No, I don't think so either. He did put his Yorishiro in the forge, so he will be able to get some of those upgrades, and we'll be getting them rather quickly. You're seeing the veteran samurai upgrade come in. Now it's 12 attack with a +2 already. That +2 is going to get increased very quickly. Also, Crackedy, let's hover over the barracks for the Japanese, because you got to see some of these unique technologies that they have. He was hovering over one with Odachi that was getting researched, but also Nagayari for the spearmen. Even though there's only samurai here, the spearmen will be able to increase some of their damage to cavalry as well. So really good infantry civ these Japanese are.
Yeah, the Odachi coming in. That's going to be giving the Japanese samurai a +4 damage against melee units, or rather against enemy infantry. They're going to be doing a lot of damage to these golems as well, as they do count as infantry. Odachi just about to come in. We can see their weapons now getting switched out. With that, MarinelorD, he could fight. He could take the fight now. Beasty behind this is also adding in some crossbowmen. On top of that, MarinelorD going for the Onimusha, going for the crossbowman replacement. We also see Camel Lancer coming out here in this game now. The Camel Lancer is interesting because there's an interaction between the Camel Lancer on the Onimusha, which usually wouldn't happen. So the Onimusha is the crossbowman replacement, but it's on a horse. It's a mounted crossbowman. So that means that the Camel Lancer actually affects the Onimusha with its Camel Unease ability, so it does less damage.
Yeah, anything on horseback is the camels do spook them. So even just having one or two camel lancers is going to help him in BC transitioning into doing that. Not necessarily the cheapest unit to use, however, and with the crossbowmen as well. I really like these Japanese units, these horse archers that have the ability to do a little bit of damage to that heavy armor, because even though the camel lancer is going to help bring them down just a little bit against gulams, it's going to be target practice for them.
Exactly. Behind all of this, MarinelorD, he still has a really, really good economy. Oh, Shinto Priest trying to collect one of the relics, but Camel Lancer is going to be in position here to snipe that Shinto Priest. It's going down. Has to be rebuilt now. Actually, MarinelorD, he still has one of his Shinto Priests, so he can just pick that relic up. And now, once again, he's attacking Beasty on the land. Beasty's whole economy is on land. There's no water economy for him remaining. So if MarinelorD wins a fight here on land, which it looks like he is doing right now, he'll be able to close out the game.
Yeah, this really looked like Beasty's last stand. It was probably the most amount of gulams he was going to get because of the samurai that were coming in that direction. Even that one lone gulam makes quick work. And as soon as that last gulam drops to the floor, the match is a complete. Game going to the Japanese on this game 5. So MarinelorD going to be able to take a 3-2 lead in this show match because of it. I'll tell you what, super good use of samurai. We really got to see the strength of the samurai, especially against Gulam, a unit that they really just take out easily.